Yes. It's winter.
It's winter.
And all the market vendors say, "Oh, I love the winter. I can settle down and go to Hawaii and do all these things." And I'm out there in the mud and the snow and the frost. And, yeah, it's a really great time.
Yeah, good times.
Welcome to the Edible Valley podcast. Mary Jane, that was actually a great introduction there.
Was that
I
right?
sneakily started recording. Yes, yeah, it was a wonderful reduction. So, hello, this is William Stringer. It's Edible Valley podcast. It is, the 12th of November. It is raining outside incredibly hard, and our guest has been out there feeding the cows. Next to me, I have
Chef Jonathan Fraser, as always, with you, William.
and we got a great guest. I can't wait for this one. It's the Edible Valley podcast.
Welcome to the Edible Valley podcast.
We want to invite you as we embark on a culinary journey through the heart of Vancouver Island
From the fertile fields,
to the pristine waters of the Pacific Ocean.
we'll explore the stories behind the food that nourishes us.
Tune in to each episode as we deep dive into the flavors, the traditions, and the innovations that make this a true paradise.
Now, please join us as we explore our Edible Valley. All right, we're back again, and we are here to learn a lot about Ridgewood Farm and all the things that are going on there, and also a little bit that we're going to hold off to the very end, but talk a little bit about a burger promotion that's coming down the way.
I love any episode where we can discuss burgers.
Literally, I told William, I'm like, we're going to talk about beef and burgers, and he's like, where? What? Let's do this.
John said there's someone promoting burgers as if it needs advertising. Yeah, burgers are not going to go extinct.
Well, you never know. If you talk to Mr. Microsoft, maybe we should all be eating plant-based.
That's true.
But what they don't understand is that they are plant-based meat
That's
Well,
right.
yeah.
because they're herbivores.
Yeah, yours are. I love that. I'm going to use that with my vegetarian fiance. Okie dokie. Well, John, let's introduce Mary Jane.
Let's get a little bit into this and tell a little bit about the farm. Like, how did you get into farming and this farm specifically, Ridgewood Farms, right?
Okay, so I was introduced to cattle at a young age. I had exposure through a dairy farm. And I actually was a high-level dressage rider. I trained and rode dressage horses.
Wow.
But I always had this soft spot for cattle.
Really?
And so I actually moved, once I finished my degree in agriculture, the University of Alberta, I moved to Chilliwack to ride with my riding instructor, but I needed a job. So
Right.
I was able to get a job at the research station in Agassiz, where we did feeding trials with dairy cattle, looking at ways to buffer the rumen so that it wouldn't get too acidic with the silage. And I also learned how to raise the calves. So I spent 2 years there, learned the techniques of keeping them alive and sampling and so on. From there, I went to Aldergrove and I managed a large grain-fed veal operation.
Really?
And in the 9 months I was there, I raised 1,500 calves.
Now, what's a grain-fed veal?
Well, a lot of the veal that you see in the stores is very pink, and it's raised on milk.
Okay.
So this was a little less invasive. The calves were in crates, but for a period of time. So they would get milk for 8 weeks, then they'd be weaned, and they'd go into a large turkey barn where they had a lot of area to move and go around.
Great.
Whereas the milk-fed they're more sedentary, and they don't get out as much.
Okay, yeah. All right. I was hoping you'd give an answer like that because it's, it's quite sad sometimes. And is there any extension of their, how the quality of their lives is a great thing.
Well,
so
and
great.
in Canada, we have a farm animal care program, and there is legislation for certain guidelines on how farm animals need to be treated.
Good, yeah.
So most farmers, that's their livelihood.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they try and do the best job that they can, with what they have.
Yeah,
course,
100%.
yeah.
And
So-
actually, with people like you, I've got total faith. the people that are actually out there working the farms, I worry about these huge American mega farms.
Yes, yeah.
They're the things that I focus on when I'm
Yeah.
like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
I have a lot of faith in people like you. And I think if all the farming came from people like you, I think it would solve a lot of problems in the world.
But I think across Canada, we don't have those large mega farms. And we have dairy farms, but we don't have the size that they have in California.
Right.
And so the dairy cattle, some are mostly inside and they're fed. But there's a really interesting site that I follow in Oregon. It's called The Honest Farmer.
Okay.
And he shows a really good example where people abuse him and say, these cows should be outside. And how come your cows are all stuck inside?
Right.
So he opens the gates and says, okay, come on, girls, let's go. So they run out to the pasture. It starts to rain. 2 seconds, they all turn around and head for the barn to their dry stalls where they can
That's
lay on the
hilarious.
sand.
Yeah.
And he says, well, they know what they want. So,
There you go.
so it's not always that we have nice green grass and sunshine.
That's true. I grew up in Devon, and we've got a lot of cows in Devon, and everywhere you go, there's a field with cows, and I've never seen them looking too happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Always, unless it's a beautiful, warm, sunny day. Should we talk about?
How you got into
Oh, so-
the farm?
okay,
'Cause we
so-
missed how we got the farm
okay,
here.
the actual.
Yeah.
of how we got to Ridgewood.
So fast forward to 2012, after I got married and had 3 kids, they got into 4-H, and they started out in dairy 4-H, and then they started in with beef because they could keep the beef and they could keep it for a year, and then they could sell it and get the money for the meat. But the other hand, so they would start with a steer, which is the castrated male. And then eventually, as they got more interested, they would buy heifers. So that's the female. So after they would show the heifer for a year, they had to do something with it. Right. So mom got the heifer. So the heifers became the foundation of our breeding operation.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So
okay.
we still have one now that's 11 years old.
Wow.
So she's still producing.
Wow.
So that's how we started. And and raising the calves is something that I really enjoy doing.
No worries, sorry, the lights just popped up here and surprised all of us. We had this nice quiet spot here, and all of a sudden the lights went on full blast.
John's laugh is making me laugh because it was entirely misplaced. To anyone listening, it would have sounded like John was just laughing at
I
nothing.
just random
Yeah.
laugh there, so I had to explain that.
Oh, right. Oh, that's
Excellent.
awesome.
Yeah,
and I've learned about heifers. I never knew anything about heifers.
Yeah.
So I can talk now about the training and care routines.
Yeah, let's
that-
talk about some of that
Yeah, please
stuff.
do.
So we are a conception to plate operation.
Okay.
We have 3 to 4 breeding cows. It's not a huge operation. I'm up to 16, or I'm down to 16 cows. Often I have up to 20. So I have 3 or 4 that are bred. So I have to monitor the heat cycles in the spring. And then the cows are bred using artificial insemination.
Okay.
So I buy semen through WestGen. They come over every 6 weeks or 8 weeks, and they refill my tank so I can maintain my liquid nitrogen in the semen tank.
Oh.
And then because I'm doing artificial insemination, I can choose different sires.
Right.
So I have a Hereford, I have Angus cross, I have something called club calves that were the show animals
Okay.
that are now, they're producing cows. And so I cross them with different things and then try and improve my genetics, improve my growth. So that's what I look for with that. And Dr. Peter Park of Solom Vet, he actually does the insemination for
Okay.
us. So I monitor it, I schedule it with him, he comes, inseminates them, and then so far they seem to be catching first time.
So you get to schedule and place everything in a time period that works best for you.
As long as it's not on the weekend when he's off or I have to beg him to come back. So,
And a shout out to Solon Vets as well. I've heard many good things about Solon Vets.
yeah, well, Peter's our large animal veterinarian
Great. Awesome.
in the valley.
You need a guy like that in the valley, right?
Yeah, you do.
There's quite a few farms out this way, so
Yeah.
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 So then the cows, I have the cows calve in a stall.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they're away from predators, if there's any weakness, they can, they have a few days to strengthen up and be more aware of their surroundings. And so we handle them from day one. So if they're a little bit slower getting up, we'll help them make sure that they get their colostrum as soon as they can, because calves have an open gut and they have to get the colostrum within the first 24 hours.
Okay.
And that window closes as you go beyond birth. We make sure that they get their colostrum, and then we handle them. So they're in the stall probably a few days until they're strong enough.
Right.
Then they can go out with their mums. They can go out with the other calves.
They hit the
But I
field.
bring them back in at night. So when they're in the stall, I put a halter on them and their mum so that we can clean the stall, put the feed in. They get used to being handled.
Right.
So, and they all get a name, and they know their name.
This is what I love. There's that compassion. And
Yeah.
I love it.
So they do know their name. And and so we wean them between 6 and 8 months. I use a plastic paddle that goes in the nostrils, so they can be with the mum, but they can't suck, because the paddle will go up under the udder and prevent them from
Actually
reaching the teeth.
Reaching on. Oh, okay.
So we leave them for about a week, and then separate. Then take the mums and like their mums are there. It's just they start to dry up, and then they don't want the calf on them.
Harassing them is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the calves are ear tagged. So they all get these CCIA tags, which are electronic, and they can actually be scanned. And each cow has a unique number. So
Okay.
they can be monitored. And if there's ever, it was brought in because of the mad cow scare many years ago.
Yeah.
So they get that. They're vaccinated.
I think that's one thing. Forget about how much work goes into like
There's a lot
tracking
to it.
each animal and the
Yeah.
work that goes behind them, that I think a lot of people forget, that they think it's a simple thing, that
They're just cows.
they're just cows, and
Yeah.
they just run them into this grinder and it's all done
Yeah.
with, and it's all the background that happens behind the scenes, right?
So they're all vaccinated. Bull calves are castrated usually between 1 and 2 weeks.
Okay.
So, but we did have one this year that was 3 months.
Really?
Because the testicles didn't drop.
Of course.
And then they dropped and then they went back up. So
Oh, bloody
finally
hell.
at 3 months, we were able to castrate
It
it.
happens to the best of us.
Yeah. So it takes me about 3 years to raise a finished
Total.
beef
Okay.
because it's a grass-fed diet,
Okay.
which is what the people at the market demand. It has to be grass-fed.
Yeah.
We're pretty.
Can I ask you this? Organic or grass-fed? What's best if you're talking about, say, butter or milk? Or beef?
Well, I'm not certified organic.
Yeah.
I don't spray my fields. I don't do anything non-organic. But if an animal gets sick, they get the antibiotic.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's certified organic, you have to either pull that animal out of your certified organic herd, or you have to find an alternate way of treating them. And I find that it's best for the animal to be treated. You hit it, you work under the direction of your veterinarian,
Yeah.
and you deal with the problem, and then move on to let the animal heal and get back to eating.
Yeah. So, okay, it's interesting because we're feeding our little girl, and we've got me and Eva always have a dispute over which is better, grass-fed or organic. Because there's in Thrifties, for example, there's only one or the other. I reckon grass-fed is the best.
Okay.
Overall.
The thing you have to remember is that cattle are ruminants. They're herbivores and they're ruminants. They need grass.
Yeah.
They all eat grass.
Yeah. Are you listening to this, Eva?
So, what?
Can you say Eva? No, joking.
Okay.
I'm already in trouble.
So there's this perception that these cows must be getting 100% of grain. And if that happened, as it did in my veal operation many years ago when I told them, they start to bloat. And once they start to bloat, they can die very quickly.
Oh, right. Okay.
So they need forage.
Right.
And it's not just grass. There's silage, there's hay that is dried grass. And so all cows have grass. They're all grass-fed. They may, or some of them may or may not get grain, but they generally can't handle more than 20% of their body weight in grain.
Oh, so even grass-fed could just be a marketing thing because they're all to an extent grass-fed.
So if you eat ever at A&W
Occasionally.
that says, we are grass-fed, we only buy grass-fed beef. So look at the wrapper on the burger, which says, because supposedly they buy from Saskatchewan, that if in times of poor weather or in times of stress, the animal's diet may be changed.
Oh, really?
So they could be getting grain.
Yeah.
Like if it's 50 below down there or 40 below out
There's
there,
no grass. Yeah.
they've got their hay, but they may need extra energy, which is what grain is.
Yeah.
It's like having your breakfast cereal.
That's fair enough, though. If it's helping the animal, I don't mind at all. If it's a kind of a scammy kind of thing, I don't like it. So that's interesting. Let's talk about Burger It Forward.
Yeah, do you mind if we jump to
About
that?
what?
The Burger It Forward campaign, because you wear many hats with your farm.
I do.
I know, not just that you're here doing the farm work, which is a lot in itself, but you also deal with a bunch of other organizations.
Yes. So I sell my meat predominantly through the Comox Valley Farmers Market.
Great.
So I support the summer markets, and obviously I sell year-round at the Saturday market.
I also have to throw a thank you out because you are a very strong supporter of the North Vancouver Island Chefs Association, and you give us some of the most amazing product to work with all the time.
Thanks,
and
Jonathan.
So grateful for that. And it's one that we always promote and talk about. We say this is a person to go talk to when you're looking for beef here for that reason. So
Thank you.
Touche. I second that. And a shout out from me to Twyla Skinner, the manager of the Comox Valley Farmers Market, who really is a big part of the huge success.
She is. She is our rock.
Yeah.
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 So I'm actually now the president
Oh, cool.
of the
that's
organization.
what I wanted to bring up because not only
Yeah. So I
Busy
wear that
lady.
hat. I am involved with the board business and so on. But I'm also involved with a group. A couple of years ago, a group of people decided that they wanted to be part of the BC Cattlemen's Association because it's province-wide. And I guess we had an association many years ago, about 30 years ago, and they disbanded. So this group of people wanted to bring it back. So a couple of years ago, I guess it's been about 3 or 4 years since it's been initiated. And 2 years ago, it was voted in through BC Cattlemen's as a region. So Vancouver Island is now Vancouver Island Cattlemen's Association, and we are part of BC Cattlemen's Association. So as part of that, I was on the original executive to help get it going. And I stepped away from that and I decided to become involved with the BC Cattlemen's Public Affairs and Education Committee, which is what I'm doing now. So they provide funding for culinary students at high schools to buy ground beef. They have a program where they have a rancher or a beef producer at Save On Foods. They support 4-H. They have a booth at the PNE. So 3 days of the year, I go to the PNE and talk to
What's PNE?
the Pacific National Exhibition in Vancouver.
gotta go
Okay.
to the P&E.
Yeah. P&E. Oh, that P&E. Sorry.
So they have a booth there, and I go for 3 days and talk to the public about beef and
Nice.
and the Cattlemen's Association.
And this is a great organization. I love that we're
Yeah.
promoting the local products that we grow in our own home here, right?
Yes.
In our own region.
So the Burger It Forward program is an initiative that is sort of a giving back initiative. So they're trying to support. So it's through Canada Beef actually, but the provincial producer groups are also involved, and so they're trying to provide recognition for restaurants, trying to get restaurants involved to produce a unique burger for a period in February, so next February, and promote that. And through that, then BC Canada Beef, depending on the number of burgers, will provide a large donation to BC Food or to food banks across Canada. And our own BC Cattlemen's Association will be providing $5,000 in funding.
Wow, that's great.
For the BC Food Bank.
That's
group.
wonderful. Wow.
So,
really good example of how the community is supporting each other
yeah.
and the farming really stepping up there.
Well,
Yeah.
we
It's quite a
talked
big
about
part of
this last year.
yes.
And it was like a week or
It
two.
was too late.
Before that we finally connected, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, and I
Yeah, it's
wasn't
too
able
much.
to get it going in time. But this year, I've had a little bit more time, so I'm reaching out to a bunch of restaurants and a lot of producers, especially in this area, in the Campbell River area, to be like, hey, let's jump on board. Let's
Yeah.
support our local beef and really get this movement going. And because to me, it's like most restaurants in this area, they have a burger on their menu, or they can
Yes.
put a burger special on there. And there's a few places that could even maybe don't have a burger, but create something that would give the style of a burger, right?
Yeah.
And so this is where I'm like, this is really exciting to me. So I've been reaching out through the Chefs Association. I know we've connected with a bunch of people, and I'm hoping this will get them really excited to be a part of it. And that's why I was like, really wanted to get you in here, because I thought, not perfect. You do so much work in our community and with your farm and your products and stuff like that. I'm like, let's burger it forward, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, and I really appreciate the effort that you're putting into this, Jonathan, because it's a new campaign. This is only the third year, so it's, as a member of this committee. Well, there's people in other parts of the province that are promoting it, but it's a slow sale, except for the Lower Mainland. They have quite a few there.
Right.
But
Well, keep on pumping out the information. Obviously, I work with the radio here at 98.9 Jet FM, and they're a big supporter of local as well. So maybe we can have them help as well. I'm sure they will, and
Sure.
and we'll do our very best to help support what you're doing.
that would be great. Thanks,
perfect.
William.
Because there's nothing better than Canadian beef
And a burger.
Yeah,
and a burger
and a good burger.
and a good burger. And the bonus is that, like, they give money to the food bank.
Yes.
Oh, did we
We do
mention
that.
that?
We
is
did.
Well, that's what I
absolutely-
said.
$5,000,
absolutely, yeah.
right? So
oh,
we're
that's
like-
the five, right?
Well,
yeah,
and
yeah.
last year, I think the program was so successful, they gave $67,000
Wow.
to food banks across Canada.
For them to get fresh beef, so it's not just canned
Yes,
stuff.
so
but-
it's for
yeah.
the purchase of beef.
Yeah, the fresh food. I hear more and more about food banks. A lot of people think they're just stored canned things,
Yeah,
but things like fresh beef, fresh vegetables that they're getting through now, absolutely essential for a food bank to give these people that have no means to get it themselves a healthy, fresh
Yes.
Yes.
food. Unbelievable. Yeah.
Oh, this is great. I wish we had more time, because I feel like I have 1,000 more questions to ask you. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have to invite you back one day.
That would
be
give you
great.
some
Can
time.
you?
That'd be great.
Maybe
Can
on a
you?
nicer weather day.
Yes, something that's not so
Do it in
crazy.
July. No, really, there's a lot to talk with you about, and we really appreciate you taking the time on this. Let's just be honest, disgusting night that you came out and you should be in front of the fire after your work.
Oh, no,
Honestly.
I have to go back and do the feed for the morning
Oh,
and
all right.
clean stalls.
Yeah.
well, yeah, thank you very much.
Well,
thank
thank you,
you.
William.
Cheers.
Yeah.
All right, and that's just about it for us today.
We just
John
have
wants to say something.
throw out a couple of contacts. So if anyone is looking at
Oh,
this,
yeah, let's.
they
yeah.
can check out the Beef It Forward,
Burger
Burger
It
It
Forward.
Forward. Geez, I'm messing it up already. Online.
Yes.
They can contact me. We can contact us at the Edible Valley podcast, and I can forward all the information you need. But hitting the website, BC Cattlemen website, I'm imagining there's
I'm sure there would be
something up
on that
there,
as
and
well.
the Canadian site as well. So there's
Yeah.
lots of places for you to find out about this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And when you go online, you have to, if you're a restaurateur out there, or your favorite restaurant, you're thinking about maybe getting them on board, tell them that we need to get you lined up by the end of November.
End of
here.
November
Yeah.
30th.
November 30th to register, and it's super easy to register because
And it's free to register.
Okay.
no
so-
expense to the restaurant.
Yeah.
It's all you're doing is promoting
Yeah.
You're
and-
getting your
and
name out
counting
there.
burgers.
and watching people come in to eat burgers. So
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for another week. This has been the Edible Valley Podcast.
I'm Chef Jonathan Fraser.
Oh,
Cut
okay.
you off.
Oh God, no! Come on, right? After you. You sign off.
Okay, sign off. This is Mary Jane signing off. Good night.
Cheers. It's William Stringer.
Thanks for listening to the Edible Valley
Cheers.
Podcast.